Buonasera, my little piggies. So this is the 7th new moon. This is the repeating moon because the new moon with the eclipse is in Cancer. And this is also in Cancer, this new moon on the 20th. But this moon is massive, serious, huge, vast energies pouring down. Serious energies. There's been very little laughter the last few days, other than every time I go on a shamanic journey and healing. Every time I sit down into the cards, it's very serious messages that are coming through. So we're using Odin and the 9 realms, and we're going to see what are the messages, please, that we have for pigs. Remember, the galactic new year starts on the 26th. And there's the Lioness Gateway portal on the 8th of the 8th coming up, all in this moon. Lots of energies, and this is the repeating moon. And we're asking, what did you fail to see on the eclipse? You were meant to fail, but what did you fail to see? What did you fail to see? Oh, very quiet cards here for you. I feel like there's a message coming out I won't be able to interpret. It's feeling very powerful, piggies. What have piggies got coming? You've got Elhas. I feel like we just might need one more, pigs. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just offering you Elhas elk protection. Do we have one more card to help them understand what they missed? Ooh, protection. So you have Elhas, which is a card of protection, the rune of protection, representing the elk planted in the ground with the horns. And then you have the Valkyrie. Now, the Valkyrie have often been controlled by Odin. I'm getting a sense that you've got, okay, so Elhas is grounding you and giving your molecules protection. The Valkyrie are giving your consciousness protection. So, there we go. They wanted me to get a third card, and we have pulled Billröst or Billfrost. This is the spiritual bridge between our consciousness and the real world. So that's exactly what this is saying to us. The energy of Asgard, as it's seen here, connecting to Midgard. So this is the energy of Asgard connecting with Midgard. Now, what did you miss? You missed all that protection being offered to you. Why did you miss it? Because it wasn't the correct energy yet, is what they're saying. So, piggies, can we please understand what was missed in this energy frequency? So the Valkyrie are the warriors who Odin has some kind of Seer power over, and he uses them to communicate with his spiritual warriors. So I get the feeling that you were being called to do something by the wrong energy, by the masculine energy rather than by the consciousness energy, and that's why you missed it. So there are no bells. I forgot to bring the bells with me. So we're relying on the energy of the room. So let's see what we have here. Oh, you're back on the 5s and the 5s. So, what did you miss? You were in hermit mode. We're all very much in hermit mode, but this is coming in with this energy. You were too focused on the inner journey to notice the energy of the earth calling out to you. There's a series of sort of, they're like footprints, but they're like leaves. They're sort of fallen leaves. They're things that you don't need, and you've kind of reached a point of exhaustion, and yet the sun is still trying to come out. And then we have this card here that is representing the Villoldo. So this is that bridge between your consciousness and the world, your molecules. So finding that bridge. But as I said, the bridge was the wrong frequency. The frequency of it was masculine when you needed to connect to it as divine feminine bridge. Not to Asgard so much as to Vanahamir, which is another realm where the Valkyrie live. So you are trying to connect with the energy of the Valkyrie. They do a Siddhir magic and they can control the lives of warriors. So they want to get involved and protect the spiritual warrior that's growing within you. So now we have two cards. Oh, that was painful as I went to bring these two forwards. A real energy of discomfort connecting into the real world. It's like the coldness of the emotions, because they were from the age of Pisces, from Asgard energy, which created, when they created Midgard, it's a very chaotic place, and we're now switching the bridge to another place so that we can have divine feminine energy with the bridge, so that we change the pathways now. It's almost like it's time for Ragnarok, and actually in the card, Huggin and Thuggin, it's Munin, but I quite like the fact that they're Odin's thug crows. They're almost leaving for the last time because they appreciate that everything's changing. So it's like that last journey towards Asgard, as if that Ragnarok energy is closing off now so that we can create a new bridge energy down. And we're thawing the old icy Neptune. This card really represents Neptune, which is in retrograde at the moment, and that's dealing with very ancient DNA trauma, which is carrying the moon close to her heart, but it's not functioning, it's not settled in her heart. It's creating a veil across the truth of how you love and how you process the energy of love from within you. And then it's followed by the Hierophantrix card. So we've had a reading separately about this card, and this is the energy really of kind of Valkyrie being totally imbalanced in the world and creating a new bridging energy. So that's what you missed, was that opportunity to create that new bridge, but you missed it because you couldn't create it then. The energies were still from the old cycle. You know, this is the very last new moon before the galactic new year begins. So this is like the 13th moon that brings in the energy of the blue lunar storm year that is coming towards us, piggies. So, what else have we got, please, piggies? What else have we got, please, piggies? So, two cards. look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Start to see the bigger picture. That's really interesting. Because part of the journey is to go inwards, to have a divine feminine balance point with the earth. But in order to do that, you've got to focus on the bigger picture that most people are not seeing. And that's just odd, because most of the time the journeying at the moment is to do with how we individually find our place forward, and yet they're asking you to see the bigger picture, but to not concern yourself with others, just to see that there is so much massive energy going on, but by dealing with your inner emotions and having your 5-5 epiphany to bring you, you know, the Valkyrie live in the 5D. This is 55, the master number of the fifth dimension, is the energy that's coming towards you. And you've got full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. Now, this is interesting because there are 3 moon phases in October. So there's a full moon in Libra on the 1st of October. There's also a full moon at the end on the 31st. So I'm thinking the 1st of October has got some kind of energy balance that you will begin to understand, like the final icy crystals will start to dissolve past that point. So what, please, is the energy, what is the energy that's going to be repeated? What's the energy that's going to be repeated? Interesting. So you have Loki and you have Vend. Now, Loki, I'm getting real, I'm getting P for pain, people, piggies, P for piggies, but pain, like there's real, these frozen 5 of emotions are really hurting you and they need to be transformed. Loki is the giant who was adopted by Odin, but the energy I always get from Odin is, from this card, is that he was kind of enslaved by Odin to have some kind of control over the giants, to have control over their magic. And Loki's seen as a trickster. But what Loki really is like a sacred clown or a jester who pokes to see the truth of things. And he's a shapeshifter. So it's time for you to shift your shape as you rewire the bridge from Asgard towards Vanahamir. So you then have Vend. Vend is a really interesting card, but there's something, what are you repeating? Look, this is a card that is saying every wish, every bounty is due when you find your true frequency, but you've got to shift into the new frequency. At the moment, this card is remaining static. It's a card of a journey, but a journey full of wonder and gifts and things coming to you beyond your imagination in the real world. But it's the world, the energy of the earth is always these rocks below, and the energy here is spirit in the tops of the cards. In this card, it's about the energy of the earth and riding the sea of emotions, but there's a sense of static, and it's coming underneath this card, the frozenness. Now, usually, Isa, the single line rune, is the ice giant, this wand, hanging on to something from the past. And this is like, it's got Kaun, the sacred in this rune bindings, it's like reversing creativity. It's like you need somehow to birth a new sense of creativity within you to move forwards. But that involves you, piggies, understanding how to dream forwards the reality that you want. You know, I'm just, as I split that deck, we've got 10 of Wands, unburdening yourself, coming down from the Holy Mountain and beginning the journey, actually beginning it instead of being static. And that coming from a transformation and rebirth card with 13. I just said about the 13th moon. This is the last moment when that staticness will rule. So what's the energy then for moving forwards? What's the energy that's needed to set this journey forward with the Vend card into your bounty and your joy? Shape shifting into something new. What's this energy, please? Can we please have some information from the cards? Thank you. Can we please have the information from the cards? So we've got, the first one that came out is the Eight of Pentacles, which is Yggdrasil energy, key code, being given the key finally by the Valkyrie, knowing that your body is protected, your spirit is protected, and being given the energy to bring forwards your bounty, to have that focus come out. So we have the Emperor. So this is, it's like you've accepted that the earth grid has changed, and the key is acceptance. Accepting that the earth grid has changed helps you to move forwards. That's what unlocks things. But you haven't had your divine masculine epiphany. So you're protected with Elohas, and he's got a bishop chess piece in his hand, which is the notion of an epiphany coming upon him at some point very, very soon, but just still sitting, waiting for something to burst forth. It's this staticness again. Look, the Aries symbol is dead behind, and that's that fiery energy of moving forwards. And then you get your movement forwards, you get your epiphany point, which is the Hierophant again. So now we've got 555. So you've got the Hierophant and the Hierophantrix. This is that idea of creating a brand new bridge to Vanahamir. And this will connect you to your higher self properly. Piggies, look, you're in the reading. Just up here. Pigs will fly. You will fly, piggies, this time, because you're being given the key to make this connection, to take away this separation of your two parts and bring these down and connect you into the earth, bringing about wonderful Queen of Pentacles energy. I mean, she is just blooming in the natural world. Her face is so full of happiness and joy. It's a really protective energy again. So it's just asking you to trust that there's all this wonderful protection around you that you're not necessarily witnessing. So, Moonology cards for the piggies. I'm getting a sense of you not wanting to bring the energy forwards. So your commitment is being tested. We're all being tested. But the point of this one is that you're being tested, Piggies, to see if you want to engage in a kind of merging of your earth molecules with a new energy, a completely different energy. That's just made me burp slightly, so there's some strong significance in that focus. And then have faith in your dreams, a waxing crescent moon. So this is the beginning of moving towards a full moon, and the full moon will be coming 2 weeks after the new moon, so that's about the 4th of August. So shortly before we hit the Lioness Gateway portal. So can we please have, how do they move this forwards? Can you please explain how piggies move this energy forwards? How do the pigs move this energy forwards? How do they unfreeze? Or how do they rewire the energy bridge? How do they rewire the energy bridge? How do they send out a new energy bridge? How do they rewire this energy bridge? So we have the 4 of emotions coming underneath the Emperor. So it's like sorry, I just need to just lay them out because they're shouting at me to notice the numberings. So you have the Emperor and the 4 of emotions. So the Emperor is the emotional male. But you're not quite understanding the energy of the emotional male, piggies. So you're sitting and you've still got those 3 cups that hurt you, and you can't understand that the energy of the emotional male has been all around you in the earth grid. It's been resonating a frequency, and you're just looking at a sort of slightly ghost-like dead energy, and yet the cosmos has got this magic coming in to bring you this epiphany point. This is like a cosmic gift, this card, and it's the merging of the 2 parts of you, the masculine and the feminine. So now we have 2 5s. So that's 4 5s now, 5 5 5 5, which is all about change, 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 change. Everything's about switching how you perceive yourself into how you really are. And that's part of the energy of the blue lunar storm year that starts on the 26th of July. So you have your divine epiphany, and this allows the truth of the divine feminine to come down, to not go through all these awkward phases of emotional femininity, raw femininity, disgust at yourself, but actually just to slip straight in from this energy, the divine feminine stepping straight down into the earth. So that's amazing energy. Then you have 2 pages. Page of Cups, Page of Inspiration. So again, changing from just being emotionally detached and coming together and bringing this energy down. To do that, you've got to get creative and passionate. You've got to see that there's a much larger energetic picture because we've got this Eight of Pentacles, this key with all the different energies being flooded in towards you. All of her cups are filled in that card, and she's got a whole new story to start writing. And there's a sense of hearts and love being pulled together around her. And then as we move towards the end with the Queen of Pentacles, we have two cards. We have the card of the Lovers, to co-create instantly. It's like you're being given the gift of instant manifestation. Living so totally and utterly perfectly in the flow, but absolutely everything you do instantly manifests. And I understand that energy because I've been experiencing it myself recently, where if you voice something, it appears in many ways, if that's the desired frequency that you believe and trust in. So you've got this incredible energy coming towards you, and I'm just going to ask for an Odin outcome. Can we please have an Odin outcome? 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 Oh, that's a lot of cards. Let's see what we've got. I can't even pick them up. It's like your outcome is being hidden from you. Okay. So this co-creation, this lover's energy that's coming in, is to do with love. We have the card of Frigg. And Frigg is she's kind of like the maligned, the creature, the goddess that has been given a bad rap. And actually the whole point of this card is to realign your divine femininity, and it's coming in with Odhal, and Odhal is to birth from this wonderful diamond a brand new spiritual inheritance for yourself. So referring back to this card where you were connecting with your higher self more readily, and bringing that energy into the new world to create this barrier, that bridge, this new directional bridge to Frigg and her energy. And she's really a warrior. She really is such a strong warrior. And then you have Iachwa, which is the yew tree. And this is the trunk of the yew tree, of the Yggdrasil. And this is that sense of connecting spirit. Again, it's just echoing right back to your earliest two cards, which was the divine feminine protection and the molecule masculine protection, and you being the force that connects those two together, which creates this new bridge, this new Bifrost or Bifrost energy. So that's your reading, piggies. Very beautiful. Just focus on connecting and know that you're protected so that you can bring your energies together, okay? And I'll see you very soon. Wassail.